Welcome in Missouri. This is March 1st, 2016. Unbelievable. I think spring is right around the corner, Bill. It has to be.
It doesn't look like it today, but it's Missouri, so wait 15 minutes and we'll have it. We'll have it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mid-Missouri, Bill Hart, the Executive Director of the Missouri Alliance for Historic Preservation. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
I'm impressed, man. Thanks for joining us. This is awesome stuff. You got a great job.
Thank you for having me. It is my dream job. I could not be happier to have the job that I do.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you like most about it?
What I like most about it is being able to help real people save historic resources, and that being any resource that's important to the citizens of Missouri. So it's a real goal of mine to. The historic places are sort of the embodiment of our collective memory, and those memories are kept alive by the historic structures and in the hearts of Missourians. So.
Okay, you don't have to convince me anymore. I mean, that's probably the greatest thing you get to do is preserve history, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Wow. Now you've got some programs coming up pretty soon. A Preservation Honors Award.
Our statewide Preservation Honor Awards is scheduled for April 21st. We have an annual celebration of historic preservation at the State Capitol Rotunda in Jefferson City. We usually bestow honors on 12 to 15 people and projects that have made a difference in historic preservation in the past year, and we actually have one Lifetime Achievement Award, the Rozier Award, which is presented along with our keynote address.
Any insight? Who won the big honors? Come on,
it's
hush,
Bill. Hush until April 21st.
Oh, you're tough. You're good.
But I can tell you it's somebody very close to Missouri preservation this year, and we're really happy to be able to honor one of our own.
Now, this is a national recognition or a national program?
It's a statewide. It's a
statewide.
So if you think about the National Trust for Historic Preservation as sort of the national nonprofit historic preservation advocacy organization, we would be the statewide equivalency of that. The local equivalent here in Columbia would probably be the Historic Preservation Commission.
Now, when someone has a historic site or a site they think is historic in nature, who makes the determination?
Well, if you want an official determination, you can go to the State Historic Preservation Office, which is sort of the gatekeeper of the process of nominating historic buildings, objects, structures. Buildings are nominated to something called the National Register of Historic Places. There are a number of criteria that are applied to historic buildings. As I said, they can be buildings, objects like sculptures, structures like bridges. Bridges have been increasingly popular in historic preservation of late because a lot of old bridges, our highway system came into being in the 20s. Lots of old bridges are under the threat of being demolished these days. There are districts. There are a couple of historic districts here in Columbia. And they're in individual sites that are listed on the National Register of Historic Places. That list is kept by the keeper of the National Register is the National Park Service, but if you're nominating them to the National Register, the first place to go is to the State Historic Preservation Office here in Jefferson City.
Who votes, or who determines what's going to be placed on the registry?
There are advisory councils for historic preservation. Missouri has one. The members of that council are named by the governor. First, an application is vetted by the State Historic Preservation Office. It goes to the Advisory Council on Historic Preservation. They meet every other month here in Missouri, and they will recommend whether to forward it on to the National Park Service for inclusion on the National Register, and then then in turn their advisory council will decide whether they're going to go ahead and list it. Usually about 98% of the time, if it's approved by the state, then
it's included.
It's named to the National Register.
Okay, July 28th. You have I think it's interesting.
It's a big part of our programming. We started in 2000 with a program called the Most Endangered Historic Places. We changed the name of it this past year to the Missouri's Places in Peril. People,
I kind of like the endangered thing a little more.
We
It
thought
puts
it
a little
better
more emphasis on it.
We thought it better described the endangered historic places. People kept asking us, when do we find out if we're the most endangered historic place? So again, Places in Peril seemed like a better way to do that. Last year we had 14 properties on our Places in Peril. Again. 2 bridges. That has become really popular, a really popular nomination. A couple of general stores in small towns. Just a wide variety.
Now, is this throughout the entire state?
It's throughout the entire state of Missouri. By the way, both our Preservation Honor Awards and our Places in Peril nominations come from Missouri citizens. So we again want to recognize what's important to those citizens of Missouri and advocate for those resources that are important to Missourians.
Then you've got an educational conference in October.
We do. That is sort of the centerpiece of our educational activities. We also have educational seminars and workshops throughout the year. Our most popular one is on the state's historic preservation tax credits. We try to teach people how to accomplish historic tax credit projects in their communities. But every year, for about the past 30 years, we've had an educational conference. It lasts 3 days. It offers 3 tracks of educational opportunities for people interested in historic preservation. It offers tours, hands-on workshops. Yeah, and it's just—
What's the registration fee?
It's usually about $150 for the 3 days.
Continuing education credits or anything like that?
It's we had the American Society of City Planners and the American Institute of Architects, the AIA. Both of those organizations, most of our conference offerings are eligible for credits, for continuing education credits through both of those organizations. This year our conference is going to be in Hannibal. We move to a different town each year in Missouri. We move to a town that has a preservation ordinance that recognizes historic buildings and protects historic buildings. So that's our conference, is sort of the carrot that we can bring to those communities.
I mean, what a great place to have a historic preservation conference.
It'll be great to be in America's
Hannibal, Missouri.
Yes, exactly. America's hometown.
I'm telling you.
Hannibal, Missouri. We'll undoubtedly have some sessions that are geared to Samuel Clemens and
Hannibal's a great community. Great community. Now you're a 501c3.
We are a nonprofit. We were incorporated in 1976 as the Missouri Heritage Trust. A couple of professors at the University of Missouri, Dr. Osmond Overby and Dr. Howard Marshall, as well as a real estate investor from St. Louis and professional preservationist H. Mead Summers Jr. really were the impetus behind the forming of the Missouri Heritage Trust, now known as the Missouri Alliance Historic Preservation. We go by Missouri Preservation.
Will you take donations?
We take donations.
I mean, that's kind of an odd thing to say for a nonprofit.
Absolutely. We take donations freely and willingly and gladly and most graciously. We have a website, preservemo.org.
I'm sorry, what was that website?
preservemo.org, where there is a membership and a payment and a donation portal. And you can also get membership information there on our website.
Now, before we go, I just want to throw this out there. You were saying something about federal funding being in flux right now.
We are currently, and actually have a change.org petition circulating around the state. It's aimed, the petition is to all of our U.S. representatives and our 2 U.S. senators in Missouri to reauthorize the Historic Preservation Fund. The Historic Preservation Fund was established in 1976 using a tiny percentage of income that the federal government receives for offshore drilling. it's provided just about, last year, almost $1 million to our state government's State Historic Preservation Office.
preservation.
Just for preservation efforts.
So if it sunsets and it's not renewed, then this is a major hit
It's a major
for you.
hit to, well, it's not a major hit to us, it's a major hit to our State Historic Preservation Office,
Okay.
which is a very, which relies on those funds to operate. So it's a very important issue. It did, the authorization did sunset at the end of September of last year, so we're hoping that that our representatives and senators will consider
Can we go to your
refunding
website?
and fully funding, yes. It's on our main page
Okay.
of our, right
What was
now.
that website again?
It's preservemo.org, preservemo.org.
Outstanding. Listen, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Come
much for
back,
having me.
Come
I
back and
appreciate
see
it.
us again. Give us an update. Thank you. Welcome back. Did I say it was Making a Difference? This program's called Making a Difference. Margot McMillen, the host of what Farm and Fiddle, KOPN. What an awesome job! A radio personality, and with KOPN.
That's right.
How much fun can you have?
It's the most fun ever. We have a really
Okay.
good time. We talk about farm issues, we talk about rural life. It's great.
You enjoy that, don't you?
Love it.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me a little bit. I've got to know. What's your background? You told me you were an English major.
That's right.
Come on now.
Well, I have always had a love of farming. I've always loved watching things grow and being on
Sure.
the farm. So the English major kind of came along to help support my farming habit. You know how that goes? So that's kind of how that works.
Well, you're the host of Farm and Fiddle, so that really that's right in your wheelhouse. You've got to love it. Now, fiddle. Who do you know that's a fiddle?
Well, my
player?
husband is a fiddler, so and he's very interested.
Do you play?
I play cello,
Okay.
so we can play together.
Yeah.
We play at square dances and other, odds and ends of group meetings and things like that, just for fun. We
Okay,
play
now
for fun. He's
Bill-
much more serious than
Bill
I am.
Hart was our previous guest with
Right.
Historic Preservation, Missouri Alliance, and all that stuff. Now, tell me about your fiddle playing, your husband's fiddle playing, and your cello playing at dances, square dances.
Right.
Do you play historic pieces? I mean, period pieces?
Right. What we play is called old time, and Bill Hartman actually mentioned my husband Howard Marshall, who is one of the founders of the
Oh, that's right.
Missouri
Yeah.
Heritage Trust. So we play old time music, which
Okay.
is the kind of music that people's grandpas played.
Easy now.
It came from it came from a lot of it came from Europe. It came from lots of different roots.
Really?
And then ended up in Missouri because Missourians came from Europe, and just has kind of stuck around. It's changed a lot through the years.
We have too.
But
We've all changed.
That's right. Our culture's changed.
Sure
a lot.
has, sure has. Now
Yeah.
you've got some really cool things coming up with KOPN and
Right.
your program. But I've got to say this: you host the oldest radio show on sustainable agriculture in the entire universe.
In
Did
the
you know that?
universe. In the
entire
universe, that's right.
Margot, the entire universe. It's you.
What
You,
can I say?
you probably sent the first message to wherever it goes once it hits space. It's out there traveling. Think about it.
Do you think?
I love it. But no, you've got another program coming up. It's called the Beard Contest.
Yes. This is a contest that we started 5 years ago. My co-host at the time was a great fellow named Dan Bugnutz, and my co-host now is also a great fellow called Rhett Hartman. But Dan was trying to grow a beard, and his beard, it just wasn't completely right there. And so he went home for Christmas, and his mom said, "You look like the Unabomber. You got to get rid of that beard." And it just broke Dan's heart.
Really?
So yeah, so he came back to the radio show, and he was telling me that didn't know what he was going to do about his beard. And I thought, well, we can legitimize this beard. We can do something.
Sure.
We can do something fun with this. And of course, KOPN is always fundraising. We're always needing funds. So we came up with the idea of having a beard contest, put it out there, and had, I don't know how many folks came, maybe 10 or 15 guys came. And we aired it on the radio.
Now, these are people sporting various levels and degrees of beards?
Exactly.
Okay.
So we have a category for mustaches.
Okay.
We have a category for partial beards, and that's, so you shave part of your face, but not the whole thing. And then we have full beards. So we have 3 categories, 3 big prizes for our entries. And we run it like a pageant. We have somewhat qualified judges. Somewhat qualified.
What are the qualifications of your judges? Let's get this out of the way first.
Yeah, let's get this out of the way.
What do you have to do to be a qualified judge in a beard contest? Do you have to have a beard?
No, you don't have to have a beard. Some of our judges do have beards. We actually have.
But they could grow one if they had to. Let's make sure we're clear with that.
But 2 of our judges this year are actually beard beauticians. So
Whoa.
we're moving
What a
up
judge,
a little bit.
though.
Yeah. Well, they judge on grooming and just the sort of like, does it fit your look? Have you done anything with your beard? We've had folks come in with little decorations in their beards or specially moosed beards that go in different directions.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the beard contest is a lot of fun. We broadcast it on the radio. We ask them a pageant question, which I love the answers. We get great answers on our pageant questions. And then the judges do a secret ballot and we declare winners. It's fun.
So your contestants, you're up to what, 30?
Probably. I'm thinking this year we're going to have a lot more than that because Jackie Castile, who is the outreach coordinator at KOPN, has done an amazing job. She's rounded up lots of great prizes. She's done a lot on public relations that we didn't even dream of before. So I think we'll have a bigger contest this year.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So what else do you do? I mean, come on now. You host a radio program. How often do you air?
We air once a week on Wednesday night from 7 to 8 p.m.
Great.
Central Time. And we interview hosts from a lot of Missouri farmers and then also people that are in agriculture from coast to coast. So let's see, last week we had, was it last week that we had people talking about a genetically modified banana that is kind of making news in agriculture right now. This is a banana that's been genetically modified to ostensibly produce some vitamin benefits for the eaters of this banana, but it actually has not really turned out exactly that way. So that's been kind of an interesting.
So this is like a mad
program.
Scientist type banana.
Yeah, I guess.
I hope it's not hurting anybody.
Well, that's what we're hoping to. That was kind of the subject of the radio show.
So what's the genetically modified banana look like? So I can.
So you can
next time I go to the store, I know. I don't think I'm going to do that one.
It's not out there yet.
Okay, good.
It may never be out there.
Good. But you talk a lot about sustainable agriculture,
right?
Sustainable growing and things like that. Good for you. That is such an awesome thing.
Well, thanks.
So what other projects do you have that you're involved with?
Well, I'll tell you, KOPN has projects going on all the time. There are things every couple of weeks. They've got another concert or something that they're backing. The Sunday after the beard contest, which I think is the 20th, it's the Sunday after the 16th. The beard contest is the 16th.
Of March?
Of March,
okay.
Right. There's a women's weekend, which is a Sunday, and there will be all women concerts on the radio, so lots of groups just by women that are going to be playing.
Good.
And then women's organizations can come on and talk about what they do also.
Great.
So if any of your viewers are connected with the AAUW or the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom or any one of the number of women's groups, we would love to have them coming.
Good for you. Yeah. Okay, now back to the beard thing.
Okay.
This intrigues me. Can anyone join or can anyone enter?
Actually, last year we had a woman win the mustache contest. So yes, anyone can enter. You do probably want to have some kind of whiskers or fake whiskers or painted on. I can't remember if she had painted on whiskers or just.
But she was there.
She was there.
She was in the game.
She was having a great time.
I love it.
It was.
I love
yeah, it was. We have thought about having a women's section. We haven't quite gotten that far, but yeah, she
Now,
showed up.
how do we learn more about your program, the beard contest, and everything about KOPN?
So KOPN has a website, kopn.org.
Okay.
And the beard contest has a Facebook page, which I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I think if you went to Facebook and put KOPN beard contest, you would find us. And if you got on our webpage, if you wanted to learn a lot about KOPN, it's a great webpage. It has all of the programs are listed. There are podcasts of most of the programs. Maybe all of the local programs are on podcasts now. You can donate, which is always a big...
That's huge.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
We are always looking for good donations. So
What do you guys do to raise money for KOPN? The beard contest is one. What are some of the other programs?
we have concerts and we do fund drives on the
Okay.
air. So we just finished a fund drive, oh gosh, I guess it was last week. So we do that every 3 months or so.
Great. Great.
Yeah.
You can always come on here and tell the world. Now,
Great.
we reach out.
Good to
and
know.
This is kind of something we keep among the Cat TV group, but we reach out to millions of people. Well, maybe not a million.
Yeah,
A lot.
a lot.
So come back and see us, will you?
Good, we will.
Give us, bring the finalists for the beard contest. We'd love to show them off.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Let's
I'd love
do it. You
Okay.
want to?
Yeah.
Come back and see
You
us
got it.
anytime, Margot.
Okay, Margot,
Listen,
thanks.
thank you so much, and
Appreciate it.
thank you for watching Making a Difference.